Hello and welcome to our new reading session from our selection Egypt, and this is part 2. The school's vision is learn today, lead tomorrow. This is the story title or the reading selection title, Egypt. And these are the objectives. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to infer the meaning of unfamiliar words using Greek and Latin roots, and use the target words in sentences, and infer information by using graphic sources, and read on level text. And this is the story cover with the title and the author and the genre, expository text, which explains the nature of something. We are going to start reading. This is the first picture in the selection, which is King Tut's throne. This at the back of his throne. It's made of gold and some other minerals, and it depicts the king Tutankhamun and his wife, the queen. The land of the pharaohs. People were farming along the Nile as early as 7000 BC. BC means before Christ. Eventually, they settled into two kingdoms: Upper Egypt in the south, and Lower Egypt in the northern delta. In about 3100 BC, Menes, a king of Upper Egypt, united the two kingdoms. Menes was honored as Egypt's first pharaoh and king. The word pharaoh comes from the words per-a, meaning big house. Pharaohs liked to keep their power in the family. Ancient Egypt was governed by one dynasty. What is the meaning of dynasty? Means ruling family after another. 31 dynasties of pharaohs reigned in Egypt between 3100 BC and 332 BC before the Roman conquest to Egypt. This is the date when the Egyptian pharaohs and rule was destroyed by the Romans in a battle. Okay, the reigned means ruled. Dynasties means a line of hereditary rulers of a country or a family of kings. And I'm going now to share with you a video that explains what is written here from what is the meaning of Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt, and the story of King Menes or Narmer, and how did he unify the two parts or the two kingdoms of Egypt.
32nd BC, ancient Egypt was not a united kingdom, divided into Upper Egypt in the south, and Lower Egypt in the north. The terms Upper and Lower Egypt do not derive from where they are on a map that has north at the top. Instead, they are derived from how the Nile River flows. When we talk about rivers, up is upstream, nearer to the source of the river. Down is downstream, farther away from the source. The Nile River flows from south to north. Therefore, the Upper Nile is south of the Lower Nile. Upper and Lower Egypt were named because they were on the Upper and Lower Nile. Lower Egypt lies between the fertile Nile Delta and the Mediterranean Sea, developing agriculture, raising livestock, and hunting. It had a strong economy due to its fertile soil. The king wore a red crown, took the snake as a guardian god, and took the bee as his national emblem. Upper Egypt in the south. The king wore a white crown, took the white lotus as the national emblem. Upper Egypt benefited from the trade network, developed a wealth and stable financed economy. Upper Egypt experienced more development than its neighbor, probably because of its trade relations with other cultures. The population of this region was most likely growing quite fast as well. All these factors eventually prompted its rulers to venture out beyond its borders. Upper and Lower Egypt, these two regions were always fighting. They spoke the same language. They worshipped the same gods. They had the same culture. But, for reasons, they could not get along until 3100 BC, when Upper Egypt became powerful and wealthy. The king of Upper Egypt at that time, Menz, personally brought troops to defeat Lower Egypt. The final battle took place right on the triangle of the Nile, where two armies fought 3 days and 3 nights. In the end, the Upper Egyptian army won. King Menz finally united that Egypt became the first pharaoh of ancient Egypt, Pharaoh Nama.
To read about different aspects of in the life of ancient Egyptians. We're going to start with the society levels. The pharaoh and his family were at the top rung of Egyptian society. This is the highest level of authority. They lived in great luxury, means richness. Alabaster lamps. These are the alabaster lamps. Golden beds and the chairs and the exotic woods. They imported woods from other parts in Africa, inlaid with ivory, decorated. Inlaid with ivory means that they put ivory inside. This ivory is a substance that is taken from the teeth of the elephants. Servants took care of their need. Musicians and dancers amused the guests at their lavish banquets. Lavish means rich banquets. Feasts and meals. Other members of the upper class were priests like clergymen, nobles, doctors, and high-ranking army officers. All these people are from the upper class. Now this is the map of Egypt. This is Egypt at the top right corner of Africa. And this is a photo of the very famous bust of Queen Nefertiti, who was the queen of Egypt in the 1300 BC, and she's very famous of her beauty. This is page 305. Decrees means laws and rules. Scribe, a writer, and construction means buildings. And here, this is a statue, the very famous statue of the scribe, the ancient scribe, which is painted and it is made of limestone. Sculpture is on display in the Louvre Museum in Paris, France. Artisans, merchants, and engineers made up the middle class. Now we are talking about the middle class. Scribes or professional writers held a special place of honor. Every family, we said before that scribe is a Latin word. Every family hoped to have a son who would become a scribe. The scribes wrote letters and government documents and recorded the pharaoh's decrees. The common people were farmers, laborers, and soldiers. Farming took only part of the year, so many farmers spent several months working on the pharaoh's construction projects. Love and marriage. In ancient Egypt, love was an important part of marriage. Egyptians wrote beautiful love poems and songs. Druggists. What is the meaning of druggists? Like pharmacists and people who are using portion of medicine and drugs. Okay, druggists mix love potions to help people charm their beloved. Pharaohs, like magicians, pharaohs could keep several wives, but one wife was customary for everyone else. Women in ancient Egypt, this is a very important detail here. Women in ancient Egypt had more rights than women in many cultures have today. So, there in ancient Egypt, thousands of years ago, the women had more rights than some people now in today's world in some cultures. They could own property like buildings and money and land, buy and sell goods, and inherit wealth from their fathers. If their fathers die, they can inherit the wealth from their fathers. Wives could even sue for divorce. They can go to the court and ask for a divorce if they have, if they had a good reason. Homes, ornaments, and games. Most people lived in simple houses made of mud bricks. These are the ordinary people. Very few of these houses remain today. Centuries, yes, there are some from thousands of years ago. Centuries of rain and wind have swept the soft materials away. So there are still even buildings from these mud bricks, but of course, the erosion and the rain and the wind have destroyed them. In these simple homes, people sat and slept on woven mats. Some people are still using these woven mats till now on the floor. Candles and oil lamps provided light at night, so they had these candles and lamps at night. Wealthy people had beautiful homes with dozens of rooms. Some were built around courtyards with gardens and pools, even so they were very luxurious houses. Women kept their makeup, so they had makeup in tiny bowls and jars. Cosmetics, because we are talking here about cosmetics, I put here a picture of these three women. They are putting makeup, and here this is a kind of or a painting of a woman with makeup, and also this is a very famous actress, but I put her picture here to see for you to see how the makeup on the eyes for the ancient Egyptian style. Cosmetics were made from minerals and plants. Gypsum was mixed with soot to make this is kind of minerals make a sparkly eyeshadow. So they had even a sparkly eyeshadow. A black substance called coal was used as an eyeliner. So they had eyeliner and eyeshadow. Other substances made red coloring for lips. They had lipsticks and blush for cheeks. So they had this blushing colors for the cheeks. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And if you need anything, you can send to me. Thank you.